joining our show this evening. Tonight, we are going to talk about one of the worst forms of pollution out there. No, it's not the DDTs that are destroying nature, or the CO2s that are suffocating our nation's children, but it's one of the most oppressive forms out there. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the internet. With all of its Facebooking and tweeting and MySpacing. It's these sorts of digital breeding grounds that are developing our nation's children into the senseless, mindless adults that run our society today. Our first tidbit of the night, we have Mariah Carey. She tweets, "Whenever I watch TV and see those poor starving children all over the world, I can't help but cry. I mean, I'd love to be skinny like that, but not with all those flies and death and stuff." Now just wait before you grab your fly swatter and your We Are the World t-shirt. We don't want to kill any flies without a good old fire-burning kumbaya. Mariah Carey, have you thought about the flies in your own life? I'm talking about the Simon Cowells that sit on your shoulder and tell you, when you open your mouth, people might not want to hear what comes out. Next up on pollution, we have Amanda Bynes. She was the man, she had the show, but now she's a, wait, who? Let's see what she has to say. "I don't speak to my parents anymore. They don't talk to reporters on my behalf. Don't believe anything you read about me unless I tweet it." Now, let's just take a moment and think about this. She wants to think for herself, which is good. We have independence, tranquility, America! Now granted, her mode of communication is a bit off than the preferred chisel and tablet, but come on, baby steps, people. Now for all of you kids at home, I want you to look past Amanda's example and don't talk to your parents or reporters or people you meet on the internet or really people in general. Lastly, we have up a wonderful transcendentalist, Miley Cyrus. She tweets, 2 in the afternoon, laying in my bed, listening to reggae by my lonesome, happiest place on earth. Number sign? No filter. Now in today's post-twerk era, we see an example of a fine transcendentalist. She is alone, and for the love that's all that's natural and holy, Miley, would you remain alone and not on award shows? I mean, I love animals more than the next guy, and nobody's perfect, but I prefer to go to nature and go to the woods to enjoy wildlife. And we'll be back with the rest of the show to have an interview with Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs. You won't want to miss it. Hi, welcome back to Transcendentalist Tidbits. I'm Henry David Thoreau. Thank you for joining us in our fight to give every child in America a tree. Today joining us is someone who I've never actually heard of, but I've been told they're popular. Wants to give every child in America an apple, and another whose goal is to have every child's face in a book. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg. I want to start, what is left of your inner spark, sir?
Hey, speak for yourself. My legacy made every piece of technology shiny.
Well, I try to let nature speak through me, but if you want to spread your vampire-like sparkly ways, that's up to you.
Did you just...
Hello, Mr. Thoreau. Thank you for having us. We want to clarify our standpoint on technology and social media's role in transcendentalism.
Do you even know what transcendentalism is?
I often went barefoot in my office. So yes, I do.
And?
Well, I also have a waterfall in the background of my computer, and I spend a lot of time around my computer.
Obviously you have the self and the alone part right. How many cats do you own?
If I may, sir, we as social media enthusiasts want to point out that nature can be spread through social media by sharing pictures and thoughts about what people interpret about it.
I bet trees feel really good behind the glass of your phone. When you share a picture, can people feel it? Can they smell it? Is there an app for that?
No, it's just the pleasure of showing your pictures to your thousands of friends.
That must be why every kid would rather go and look at pictures in an art museum than experience Disney World, now isn't it? Oh, have you created a phone that has teleportation? Is that what the iPad Air is? Does it pump out fresh air to kids who haven't seen the light of day since the sun put a glare on their phones? Is that what it is? No, I didn't think so. You're dead anyway. I don't think you can truly experience nature unless you're out in a cabin in the woods for at least 2 secluded years and have rare visitors happen upon you. And your only friends are weasels.
Hey, I think you're being a little unfair to social media here.
Really, as a transcendentalist, it is my purpose in life to live close to nature and not rely on Instagram to know what a tree looks like up close. And the noise those things make. Ding, you have a friend request. Ding, Susie liked your post. It ruins a man's concentration.
Well, just because weasels don't have Facebooks yet and can't send friend requests doesn't mean you need to be jealous. I mean, with all due respect, you can turn the sound off.
Sure, turn the sound off and your chair is buzzing every 5 seconds. Buzz, buzz, buzz. And no, that's not nature calling. Really, do you know how hard it is to write when your butt keeps buzzing out from under you? My handwriting looks like a seismograph during the California earthquake season. And do you know what else? I can't understand a Hoover damn word of it.
Mr. Thoreau, you have to remember that transcendentalism is finding your inner spark. My phone lights up with it all the time.
Well, that's easy for you to say. All that's left is your inner spark. Well, thank you for joining us, Mark and Steve, on my show today. As a prize for coming, I'm going to send each of you to my very favorite, private, secluded cabin where you'll be cut off from all forms of communication. As I was saying, best of all, their phones are going to be destroyed.
Oh, what about indoor plumbing?
Indoor plumbing is a privilege, not a right.
What?
Whoa.
Yes, so as an exit ticket for leaving the cabin, I will need each of you to find and burn a moth into a flame and tell me, how does it really burn? But that might be quite difficult because moths will be hibernating for the next few months.
I mean, no, technically they're
And
not
I
hibernating.
said fire to the moth. Watch it burn as it's in the flame. Well, thank you for coming to our show. Up next, we're going to have a segment where we send some transcendentalists on a nature walk.
Transcendentalist Tidbits is brought to you by...
I joined Weasel Mingle because
I was new to the area and didn't know any weasels.
It's too hard to find weasels when I'm sitting alone in my cabin.
I'm a single transcendentalist and I was just getting tired of the wood scene.
Hi, I'm Annie Dillard, and when I was alone in the woods, I turned to the internet to find my true love. I joined weaselmingle.com and found my weasel in seconds.
Warning, weaselmingle.com is not responsible for any injuries or attacks, including lacerations, amputations, puncture wounds, proverbial jugular attacks, as well as, but not limited to, typhoid, mono, rabies, diabetes, paralysis, and death. Please mingle responsibly.
So earlier today, I sent 2 transcendentalists in training out on a nature walk. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay, great. The first one to find a small mammal wins his great Take Life by the Jugular t-shirt.
Small mammal. Okay. Go! Up there!
Nice try. Okay, the next challenge is to find an animal in its natural habitat. Go.
Okay.
Look, there it is. Natural habitat.
Fascinating.
That's not an animal, but it is in its natural habitat. Quick, what's the breeze telling you?
Ah, sweet music of the wind.
So marvelous.
The wind is dropping quite a beat today. All right, next, find birds.
Birds?
Birds.
Look, a young flock of birds tweeting.
Oh,
What are they saying?
precious.
Britney Spears. I go overseas places like Canada.
Okay, both of you didn't really win. That's awkward. But come back to the studio anyway. Thank you for watching our show this evening. We want to thank our sponsor, WeaselMingle.com. And remember, indoor plumbing is a privilege and not a right. Stay natural.